I draw a lot directly from memory. So rather than referencing past drawings or looking at an object, oftentimes I'll try to reference an object from what my memory of that object is. And I'm really interested in the way that our memory distorts the reality of the thing. I think that our minds kind of play games with us sometimes, and I've always been really interested in that. Because it's like the more often that you remember something, the less you remember the original event. I was little when I was making art. I think it's always been kind of a means of dealing with like anxiety. It was like kind of one of the coping mechanisms that I had. So I think that that was like a lot of why I started creating a lot initially. And that's still been something, like even as an adult, if I start to get into like one of my anxious mind loops, my mom always asks me like, oh, have you been like making art lately? A little over a year and a half ago, I was contacted by the small living wage studio in North Carolina, just saying like, if you'd like help figuring out how to build out a line, we would love to help you do that. I pulled from some vintage pieces that I'd had and that I would love to like see in my size and other sizes. And then we worked those patterns and adjusted them. And then I did the remainder of the sourcing, so it was like trying to find fabric that felt special. I located these folks in Pennsylvania who weave the fabric from organic cotton grown in Texas and then hemp from a sustainable crop rotation in France. And those are woven on antique looms from like before the 1940s, which also feels special that it's like using older technology. And it just kind of like kept progressing through that. It's like, well, if I'm going to be doing this, like, how would I want to dye it? And if I'm going to be dyeing a lot of work, I want to make sure that it is like done in a way that is like thoughtful for the environment or to like the best ability that we can be. And that's how I found my natural dyers in Pennsylvania, who are wonderful and collect rainwater for the dyeing process and then compost all the byproduct from it as well. What I've realized through this whole process is like just how many people are doing like pretty remarkable things. And like the work that I do is just like trying to find out ways to support those people. And like how do we support each other and change the way that we do things a little bit to be more considerate of like how things are produced. The older I get, the more I think about like what we're leaving behind for like future generations. When I think about friends' kids or my siblings' kids, it's just like I want to leave behind something better for them. And so I think it's just like wanting to create something that like stands the test of time and can be passed down to different generations and also isn't doing significant harm to like us now.